It's so much like family.
Why wouldn't you want to live here too? Come home to Ascension Living.
Count on Local 3 News for more local stories.
You know, the Chattanooga area is so rich in history. If you walk around anywhere in North Georgia or downtown Chattanooga, you'll see plaques that mark historical events that happened here and things that make our city proud even to this day. So we're going to talk history a bit this morning, perhaps your own history, a way you can come up on Signal Mountain to Alexian Village and hear some little known history. Doug Malin is back on the show. He, of course, is with Ascension Living, and next to him is Joe V. Williams, who was with the Chattanooga Area Historical Association. Nice to see you both.
Nice to see you.
The truth is, I think, Joe, this is fair to say, if you start talking history, the conversation never stops. Whether it's your own family history or national history, you can keep on talking and talking.
There's always more research to be done.
So what you're, though, here to talk about this morning is kind of a collaboration, Doug, between Ascension and the Historical Association. You're wanting to bring some of this history to your residents and the community at large.
Exactly. There's so much history on Signal Mountain, and certainly the Alexian brothers, what they brought to the history and what they're part of on the mountain. And one of our residents, Mary King Almond, is part of the association and has been very instrumental in getting a program set up on 9/11. And I'll let Joe talk a little bit about it, but getting the association to come up and have one of their normal meetings at Alexian and inviting the community to come and join.
So
us.
here's the mistake I made, and I'll set this up for Joe, and that way he doesn't have to begin the lesson all over again for y'all. When I heard that it was going to be on 9/11, I logically thought that it was going to be about the events of 9/11/2001. That is not the case. Y'all normally meet on a Monday in September. That happens to be
second Monday of the month,
September 11th. But the topic is actually Abraham Lincoln.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Why? How has that been chosen?
Well, Mary has a relationship with this Dr. Charles Hubbard, who is a resident of Alexian, and she wanted to expose him a little bit. Yes, the residents know of him, but she wanted to bring him to our organization. Mm-hmm. And because of transportation and some residency issues, we decided to have it there at Alexian Brothers.
So he was a professor for a number of years, so obviously research is not a stranger to him. But you say that he will actually reveal some perhaps unknown facts about Abraham Lincoln in his presentation.
We hope so. We all want to learn.
Have you, so with the Historical Association, y'all have monthly meetings, typically at First Presbyterian?
First Presbyterian Church.
Okay.
Monday evening at 6 o'clock.
So how many of you are there in the association?
Oh, about 225 on the rolls and growing.
So do you take turns in terms of the monthly presentations if people come up?
We do. We go out, we have a program committee, and we go out and select people to give a presentation on an interest they have, and we try to rotate the program such that we don't duplicate. So we'll have a program on aviation, and then we'll have a program on transportation.
You know, Doug, this makes so much sense for y'all to be partnering like this, because you have the great benefit of probably eavesdropping on a lot of conversations at Alexian on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
You've got some residents there that are 100 plus years old. They have a lot of history of their own to share.
We have amazing residents. We do have multiple people that are over 100 years old.
Yeah.
And the history of whether it be World War II or whether it be, you know, in the industry or business, or there's so much history there. And I could never take it all in. There's so much.
Well, also, I watch, and my mom is 92, okay, Joe? And I've been in conversations with her, she'll often say to me, my brain just can't take in a whole lot of new information. I think she does a great job. But if she can talk her own experience, or if it was an 85-year-old person who's there on Monday, the 11th, the Abraham Lincoln history is kind of young history. When they were kids, they would have learned it. So it might click with them a little bit more. Is that fair to say?
I think so. I think it's a chance to reflect on your past, think about the issues that you enjoyed as a child and what information you received, but then related to a new research. It's always a continuation of your knowledge base.
It also can be a nice conversation starter. If you are a young person, maybe you're a college student or a high school student, and you have aging grandparents or even great-grandparents, and it can be hard sometimes to relate in deep conversation, you could go to this lecture together, learn some things, and that could spark a conversation from there.
It'd be great. I just think history is so important, and I think it's an area that our younger generations need to focus on more, and I appreciate everything that Joe and the association does to try and keep that out there, keep it interesting, and that it really is. If we don't know our history, we can't determine what our future is.
So with your monthly meetings, I know you kind of talked a little bit about some of the different topics that you cover. Does it often have a national
We do have
slant?
national. We will look at events that have occurred, yes, locally, but impacted by national events. And of course, as you probably recognize, we are a railroad town. Yes, railroading is part of it. We are a industry town. And so nationally, we've integrated our industry here with national. We're an insurance town, we're a banking town. So all of the elements of commerce in industry have been a part of Chattanooga and the people that were involved with those industries. We are a little bit more of a personality-driven organization in the sense that we look at those people that led those industries, those people that made those industries prosper.
And is it important to perhaps point out that if they come up on September 11th to hear this presentation from Dr. Hubbard, they might hear some things about Abraham Lincoln, and the first thought might be to go, well, that's not true because that's not the way I heard it. But history is a different take depending on the person telling the history. Is that correct? So you look for the commonalities over time?
Sure, and new interpretation. We always learn from others' research, and that's one of the things that we do is we recognize that people locally have research or have information, and we ask them to present it to us, and we publish it. So our journal is a publication of people's insight and their research, and we put this out twice a year. So
if you have old letters or documents or diaries or something, turn them over to you?
Thank you for the invitation. I think it would be nice if you published it.
Okay.
Put it into an article and send it in to us.
Okay.
We're not a depository, but we at one time we were, and the library couldn't handle it all. So.
Wow. All right. Do they need to make a reservation, Doug, or just come on up?
They can just call our main number, and if they have questions about it, we'll be sure to get them the information they need.
All right. Well, they wanted to let the light shine on somebody else, not just the wonderful things about living there at Alexian Village and the many properties that Ascension Living has its hand on, but also reminding you that they are part of the community, and anyone is invited to come up. September 11th, it all begins at what time?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
And there is going to be transportation provided.
Okay.
So if you'll come to the buy low at the foot of the mountain at 5 o'clock and at 5:30, you can have transportation to the top.
You know he's a Chattanooga native if he said the buy low. It's now the Food City, but it's always forever going to be the buy low.
I'm sorry, the red food.
He one up me. We're back after this. That was great.
Have a car? A title? You could get up to $6,500 with TitleMax. Go to TitleMax.com and enter your car year, make, and model. See how much you could get. Check out TitleMax